Hello everybody, it's me, it's Andy, Decade Andy here. It is Moonbase 2 time. It's Mr. Mikey time. Dance for me, Mikey. Show me your best moves. That's true, but that doesn't mean I can't dance. Oh my god, it's decided not to have you choke again. Nice. I'm gonna have to redo your audio because it's not coming through. Chrome. Discord. I don't know why it did this. It did this last week as well, didn't it? It was just like, oh no, you don't need to hear Mikey for some reason. And it's done it again. Not that one, is it? Keep talking to me, Mikey. I'll flick through the channels and eventually we'll find the right one. Not that one.
Things I don't want to see, therefore not.
Oh my god, that's awful, Mikey. Well, I mean, I'm not back. I'm just cycling through the Discord channels until I come across the right one. This is so annoying. I have a Discord channel, but
I'm singing in the rain.
There we go. We've got you, Mikey.
It's not raining.
You know what I did?
In the house.
I just put you back on the exact same Discord channel. I took you off the thing that said Discord, and I put you right back onto the one that said Discord, and now it's working. I don't know why, but it is.
And Discord was like, "You have passed the test."
But I
no,
don't.
You have passed the test.
I mean, I'm not going to complain too much, but I'm going to be slightly perplexed and bemused and annoyed. Annoyed, of course, as well. How's it going, Mikey? You doing well today?
I'm good. Good.
That's good. Glad to hear. Today has been a on and off kind of day for me. The rain has been on, the rain has been off, the rain has been on, and the rain has been off. We've got Transformers.
Have you considered turning the tap off?
No. I like the taps on. Lets me know for certainty that I'm not going to get Legionnaire's disease. So that's nice. If the water's always running, the water can never go bad, right? That's how it works.
That's one logic.
Yay! I'll take it.
Oh, there.
It is. It's still water, isn't it? If the water's still, it goes bad. For Legionnaire's disease, is it if you ingest it, or if you have like a shower in it as well? Would it kind of get you that way? I don't know.
Well, they go in like you always ingest some of the water you shower in.
How do you shower? Do you just like scream at the water coming out of the shower head?
Andy, your skin is full of holes. You are literally a tryptophobic nightmare.
Mikey's just opening his mouth to the water, going, ah!
You won't tame me, God.
Drown me, will you shower? We'll see about this.
Waterboard, water, fuck you.
My God. Transformers, we'll be doing some of that this week. There's not a lot, though, this week, Mr. Mikey.
Not a ton, but there's a bit.
Not a ton. Have you done any things that were fun this week? So we got stuff to talk about at the end?
A little bit. My media is a little behind, but part of it's a little bit of exhaustion with a certain show.
It's Geets, isn't it?
I never said that.
I saw your tweets earlier today, so I made assumptions. I think I'm done with Geets. I don't need to watch anymore.
I'm going to let another episode or two build up, and then I'm going to see if the final arc works as a unit. Because 0-1 did that. Like, we'll talk about it later on. But 0-1's final arc is the best arc in the show.
Okay.
It's just there's a lot of problems building up to it.
Yeah. I remember that. What episode are you up to with Geets?
I'm on like 38, 39. I think it's on episode 41, 42 for the actual show.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it must be close to the 40s because we're getting near that time of year where the change is going to happen. Going to start talking about what the next Kamen Rider show will be. Do we know? what the next Rider show is going to be?
Did you see the design? No. Oh yeah, the Kamen Rider Gotchard.
Gotcha.
The design is Gotchard. The design is something else.
Something good?
I like it, but I could see a lot of people not liking it.
Oh dear.
It's got a lot of references to very specific things about the original suit, which are not often referenced.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to just say it's like a big pachinko machine or something weird like that.
No, I think it's a grasshopper train theme.
Okay. I feel we've already done that kind of idea with 01 and stuff, right?
Yeah, they're talking about it maybe being an anniversary show as well, and I think that would be fucking dumb considering Revice. Yeah, which is like one of the rumors is Decade's going to be back, and I'm just like, will someone tell him, please, just stop standing outside the Toei offices, just go home.
He's successful though. He doesn't need this.
Yeah, no, he doesn't, but he wants it. I
mean, that's fair.
Like, Masahiro Inoue just stands outside anything to do with tokusatsu and won't leave until they give him a role.
I want to do Decade again. Oh, okay, we'll put you in another movie.
We weren't really planning on having Decade in this one.
No,
weren't you? I'm not letting go of the door.
Oh, did he do anything with Saber? I'm guessing he didn't.
No, but he started his own Sentai, not Sentai, he started a Toku series at the moment, a self-produced Toku series.
Oh my god, he's gagging for more Toku. Bless this boy.
Would you believe that the design aesthetic of the hero is very pink?
I was Decade,
I think
yes,
it's
Grandpa,
the name
let's go back to
what's
bed,
the name of the
please.
show? I was Decade and I was in Garo too. Oh, that's nice. Oh dear, drink your tea. Drink your tea. I got a spin-off movie. People liked it. I'm the only villain in Garo to get a spin-off movie, except for that one guy, but we don't talk about him.
Oh, that's the new suit?
That is the new suit.
Huh.
I kind of dig it.
It's not bad.
This is the show. Sentika F8ABA6, which I'm assuming Sentika Fahachi AB Roku. Oh no, it is just the numbers. Gisarsa. Ayuka, an ordinary high school girl who reincarnates in another world after it's a fucking isekai toku show. Someone finally did it. Someone finally fucking did it, and it's this fucking nerd.
Well, it had to be somebody, I suppose.
He was just sitting there, like, with his arms folded. My time will come.
I will do the thing. It will be my time.
He's such a fucking nerd. He's a highly successful, wealthy nerd.
Well, I hate that.
Yeah, but he's a Japanese Henry Cavill.
It's not as buff as Henry, that's for sure.
No, but he got to the stage where he could have been like, Henry, would you like to be taken seriously as an actor? Can I have toys? What? Can I buy toys? I mean, we're going to pay you millions. You can buy what you like. Yes, I will be taken seriously as an actor.
I'll do it.
Is that a room? Is that a room dedicated to Warhammer? That room is none of your business.
You keep your goddamn nose out of my business. Excellent. Well,
I don't know if he's got a partner, but I do feel sorry for them, whoever they are. Henry,
he did.
Henry, do you wanna maybe go out for dinner or fool around or something? Henry, open the door. Henry, I can smell the paint.
Henry's got more important things to do than to have things like basic things like sex. He's got more important man things he has to do.
Just opens the door. He's like got this like white tarp over him. He's covered in paint. He's holding a half-painted Warhammer's figure, and he just starts screaming at them to get out. Get out!
Hey, when a man dedicates himself to his craft, you can't stop him. Like a bowling ball. It needs to go down the hill. Shall we start pooping, Mr. Mikey?
I'm gonna... Oh no, I've just got in my image. He's painting, and he's also got like How to Fix the Witcher TV show plastered on his wall.
Oh no, you can't save it. That's already dead. Witch is dead.
He left because it was so inaccurate. He left.
I don't think he left. I think he was asked to leave.
He was asked to leave, but it was like one of the things he said himself was like, yeah, he was asked to leave because one of the things he was saying was, it's not very accurate to the game and books, guys. And they were getting a little tired of him doing that.
Yeah, that's not him wanting to leave. That's him being told, okay, we're done with you. And I don't think the show's going to do very well with Chris. It's not Chris Pine. Who is it that's doing the role? It's Thor's brother.
Yeah.
Hemsworth, yeah, like Chris Hemsworth, not Chris Hemsworth, like Liam Hemsworth, is that it? Something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure how well that'll go. But hey, Mikey, poopcasting time?
Poopcast.
All right, let me roll that music and we can talk about some motherfucking transforming things. Let's go.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decade Andy, and I'm joined here by the man who's not Henry Cavill, but it's Mikey G. Wolf V3. Hello, Mikey.
You have no proof I'm not Henry Cavill.
I'm pretty sure I can.
The man is a master of disguise.
Are you saying if I skin you, I will find that Henry Cavill is beneath your flesh?
You know how a cocoon, like you get a caterpillar and then it turns into goo and then a butterfly emerges from the goo?
Turns into goo.
Eventually I will explode and a beautiful Henry Cavill will rise up.
Are you sure you won't turn more into like the Frog Prince from that Treehouse of Horror episode? Every moment he lives is agony. I can see it happening. Hello, it's another week. It's another time for more Transformers, Mikey. You're looking forward to talking about the reveals for the week?
Yeah, I'm actually just reading a bit of interesting Kamen Rider trivia.
Oh, okay.
All right.
What is it?
There's no presence. Last year at Anime Expo, there was a huge Kamen Rider presence.
Mm-hmm.
There is no presence at the moment.
Oh, why?
And because it turns out, and this is from like a really reliable source, for years there was a top level Japanese executive at Bandai America who had a really personal grudge with the top nerds in Toei. After a restructure, he was put in charge of the Kamen Rider project late last year and cancelled nearly all public-facing events and marketing for Kamen Rider merchandise. He also pulled the plug on all fan interactions and marketing of anything except product. That's why they're silent, except to market no giveaways, no online streams or panels, no convention appearances, no chance of another sub-movie. Basically, the push that was being pushed for about 2-3 years has been completely derailed because this one dude is like, fuck Toei.
Wow. No. You know what I want, Mikey? I want the Shell Factory Blu-rays to be region free. That's what I want.
Yes, I would like that very much so. And I don't understand how in 2023, in a streaming age where people can watch any show anywhere, you don't just do it.
It's probably like legal anus crap, isn't it? That's realistically the reason for it. But I'm pretty sure like Warner Brothers, like all of their Blu-rays are region free. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's a marketing thing. It's not a legal thing. It's like we make more money because there's licensing fees and everything else. And you do because then what they do is they it's like the Hammond Collection stuff. The Hammond Collection stuff, like they don't bring them over here because someone up in marketing said it will cost too much to bring the toys over there, and by the time they're over there, we don't think there's enough people over there who'll buy the toys. Mm-hmm. So for them, it's like, well, we don't think there's enough people globally, out of 7-8 billion human beings, who will buy Kamen Rider or Sentai relative to the, few 100,000 in America.
I wonder if this is like a knock-on effect from like Dragon Knight being so shit. If Dragon Knight was a big success somehow, because that show was terrible, I wonder if we would now be, if that was successful, we'd be living in a world now where Kamen Rider stuff was just more in the mainstream market. It's interesting to think about. The problem was Kamen Rider Dragon Knight was bad, really bad. It took a show that I really liked, Yuki, which is very flawed, very flawed, and they just made it worse.
I always think it's weird that Dragon Knight was popular in Japan, popular enough that that's why the Figma releases were made.
Well, that's, the Japanese really like Power Rangers as well, so it must just be something about the way that the Americans do the filming, or there must be something culturally interesting that the Japanese like about how Americans take the Toku franchise and make it their own, that they just find really fascinating. I don't know what it is exactly, but we need to know a Japanese person who really likes Power Rangers or or Kamen Rider to explain it to us, because I'd be interested to know what it is that they would pin down and go, this is the reason why we like this stuff. You know, if you want to take like Saber, you want to do something and fix Saber, fine, go for it. That was a bad show. I always don't touch X-Aid, don't touch Gaim, don't touch like Double, don't touch Bill, don't touch the good ones. Take the bad ones. Take the ones that are generally like, or at least the ones I consider bad. If you take the ones I consider bad, oh, you know what would be a good one for America to take and maybe tweak to correct the mistakes that were made? Hibiki. And just make the Hibiki...
that would be interesting.
Just make it more like the first half of Hibiki. Just, like, ignore everything from the second half and make it back to the original idea. That would be cool. I don't know how you'd make the American, like, twist to it, or however you want to do that, but, you know, that could be quite fun, because, Kiva. Fix Kiva. Great design. Ain't a story. Yeah. I love the suits. The monsters are great designs as well. Visually, it's a fantastic show. And then you start watching.
And that is...
Fuck me.
I've realized that is why some people keep trying to watch Kiva, or try to start.
It's got really good intro music as well. The music intros for it's
they see
great.
The suits. Yep, they see the suits and they see the... they check out the opening, and a lot of people go like, oh, cool, I'm going to watch that. Like that's been a lot of people's intro to Kamen Rider because of just aesthetics. And that's terrifying.
The idea of like it taking place during two timelines, like what was it, 1989 or something, and 2006. That's an interesting idea. I don't think they did a very good job handling that aspect as well as many other aspects of the show. But yeah, man, Kiva, great show. And then there's Blade. Never touched Blade. Touch the first 20 episodes of Blade. You can touch those as much as you like.
You can. You have to bring back the original actors, and that's the only time I'll allow de-aging technology.
Maybe not Langle. I never liked Langle. I need to rewatch Blade at some point. It's been a long time since I've watched Blade. I want to watch it.
It's a very good show once it gets going.
Oh, it's a rough road.
It's hilariously, like, it's strange to look at it now and see, like, the fights are so blasé in comparison to what we get nowadays. But
I bet, yeah. But that, again, like, Blade was, what, 2004, 2005?
It was the 5th season, so it would be 2005, 2006, yeah.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, holy shit. It's nearly 20 years old. It's getting on for it. Holy shit. Right, Mikey. Transformers. They are things that transform into other things, generally speaking, yes?
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad you confirmed. We talked about, not Grimlock, we talked about New Age doing Slag or Slug last week. We've got that was a prototype. We now have, I'd say this is a bit more than prototypes. I'd say this is a full reveal of the New Age H56 redo of a Healosaurus. Is that
Rhedosaurus. It's very simple.
Redo of a Healosaurus.
Before you say anything, no, it's not a real dinosaur. It is the dinosaur. It's the creature from the beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
Wow, fucking nerd.
Which inspired Godzilla, of all things.
Oh, you are a fucking nerd. This is Sludge, G1 Sludge. We have a few variations of him, because of course we do. Oh, we only have two. We have the standard toy cartoon. No, this is a quote-unquote cartoon accurate version. I say quote-unquote because there might be a quote-unquote toon accurate version coming in the future because it's New Age and that's how it works. And there's also the translucent version. Which is the H56T, T for translucent. So, you know.
It certainly is.
It's the standard practice for New Age. As far as I can tell, I think these are not CG images, and these look like the real deal of the figure, right? Is that your assumption too?
Yes.
Well, how do you think Good Slug has come out?
Okay, so this is, in my opinion... in terms of aesthetics, the best looking Sludge there is.
I think that is not an unfair statement.
Within the caveat of Generation 1, blah, blah, blah. But I think this looks better than the Leader. I think this looks better than like the Power of the Primes one.
Oh, yeah.
I think this looks better than a lot of third-party Masterpiece sludges. The proportions are better. The posability is certainly better. There's a weird thing, like he seems to come like leg covers. Like you can stick them on the inside of the leg to sort of clean up the inside of the leg. I get nice. Why people. I think it's nice. It's just I wouldn't take up an accessory count with that. I might do an add-on thing, like do that for all of them.
But New Age don't really do add-on things. I mean, what do you give Sludge? What's he? What else would he have?
What do you give Sludge? You give him a woman. You give him a photographer, a little photographer lady that he is uncomfortably like emotional with.
What's that reference to?
From that one issue. That is reference to a Marvel UK, I think, story where Sludge gets basically the hot for this photographer lady who is not interested and doesn't really like him, but it doesn't really sink into his big dumb dinosaur brain.
Does he get cancelled on Twitter?
Which it is like weird, like looking back now, it's just like it's kind of weird in a little bit of a
I mean, he's a giant dinosaur robot. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do with each other?
Well, she does. Well, Braun made it work.
Did he?
Braun reproduced.
Hang on, what? What do you mean Braun reproduced?
Yeah. Braun and what's her name? Cover Girl? Is that her name?
Is this how the cyborg lady came about?
No. This is G.I. Joe.
No. I know, but I thought that was what you know.
So
the lady
Joe versus Trent. No. I hate her, but no. That's Circuit Breaker, which everyone loves, and they are wrong. But G.I. Joe versus Transformers, Andy.
Oh, the Tom Scioli stuff. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Ron and Cover Girl have a kid after getting married.
How is it explained in that comic? How?
Nope.
Of course it's not, because it's fucking stupid. I hate that comic. I hate it.
Are we the ones who are wrong, Andy?
No, it's the children, Mikey. The children are the wrong ones.
Children are wrong. But anyway, this guy talking to pleasant things.
Yes.
He's a lot. I think the big selling point for him, not only is his proportions are better, but he's a lot more posable in robot mode.
Oh, yeah.
I like the fact the back wings have some hinges so they can get out of the way. I like the amount of posability in the legs. The feet look like they work really, really well. The dinosaur mode is, it's a bit dumpy, but it's an interesting one where usually they'll sacrifice a bit of the robot for the dino. This one, they definitely sacrificed the dino for the robot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it works. Again, within the G1 aesthetic, I think this is as good as Sludge has looked. So I'm pretty pleased with him. He's probably out of my price range at the moment, but he's definitely out of my price range after this week. But we'll get to that, but I think he's looking decent. I do not care for the translucent one whatsoever.
I mean, that's standard for us, really, isn't it?
But I'm amused by the picture of him in like fake water, and I'm wondering when he gets retooled into paddles.
I'd like that. That could be a decent redo of him, to be honest. I'd be down with that. Also, more love for paddles. That's never a bad thing, at least in my eyes.
More paddles, more love.
Yep. They do have the accessory where his eyes are bulging out of his head, but there are no images that show that for whatever reason. I don't know why they don't show him. And the accessories for the leg covers, again, are not really shown on the figure either. They're shown in like the, here are the accessories. He's got closed hands, he's got open hands, he's got the squirty out eyes, and then he's got the leg covers and his standard gun. No sword, which is interesting. If you want the sword, you'll probably have to get a different colored version of the figure, which is what you had to do with Grimlock as well. He either came with a gun or came with a sword, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe that's what you could have done. Got rid of the leg covers and gave him the gun, and maybe the leg covers could have been a thing for another release of the figure or something. Yeah, maybe that's it. I would agree. I think this looks really good. Another solid release from New Age. As ever, they do really good toy designs of Masterpiece legend scale dudes, I'd say. I like the fact that his dinosaur mode is basically an egg with limbs attached to them. Kind of like what Slag was last week. Love, I think he described him as potato-shaped last week, didn't you?
Yes. That was the term I used.
Would you say that's pretty similar for most of the Dinobots? Like they're kind of all potato shaped?
Certainly, the main 3 quadrupeds all have that same kind of aesthetic. I think Slug kind of takes it to the extreme. But
yes, yeah, I
but I think him and Snarl and then Sludge it's a bit lessened because he does like the potato becomes like a tube.
Something to be afraid of, the potato tube. No, I think this is great.
Coming for us all event one day.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we're going to be getting the Dinobots relatively quickly then, since Grimlock, obviously, and then last week we saw Slag, Sludge this week. I mean, it doesn't mean we'll see the other 2 very soon, but they're clearly in production. I guess it won't take long for them all to be out if you want to get the full set of Dinobots. Again, what will the repaints be? A Shattered Glass version, probably. A comic version, probably. A metallic version, probably. And I don't think there was a G2 version of Sludge, was there?
There's a G2 color scheme.
Was there? What was the color scheme from?
I don't know, but it's like... I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it's like a lot of green and reds.
Really? Okay. I don't remember that one. I remember Snarl, I remember Slag, I remember Grimlock. I don't remember ever seeing the other 2 have a G2 color scheme. Is this like when you recall the G2 color scheme, is this like Tiger Stripe Grimlock? Like he never came out, or is this more
I don't think it ever came out, but it's a lot simpler. Okay. Aesthetically than like it's a much more straight color scheme.
Fair enough. More like the normal G2 Dinobots that came out. The 3 that I mentioned came out, like Blue Grimlock and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Well, there we go. We never got G2 striped Grimlock from New Age. They never did him. Oh, you little bastards.
They did Shattered Glass IDW Grimlock of all things.
Fucking cowards.
So just like bit odd. Yeah. Hey, they're all cowards. Like Toxitron still hasn't officially said they're doing the Grimlock. We just know that they fucking leaked it. Because whoever was doing that was not wise.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, throughout all of the media things, I don't think they've actually officially announced it. We've seen the box, so yeah. Damn, Mikey, good point. Cowards. It's a shame that mold is not great. That's all I'll say. Mikey, do you want to take us on to the next little story, the next little boobly babbles?
Yeah. 3-0 have revealed some teaser images for their MDLX line. They had a photo shoot of their Megatron, which does look very, very good. Mm-hmm. And this time they have their Skywarp, Thundercracker, and Starscream, which is their Seeker. It is a stylized semi-Bumblebee-inspired Seeker with very G1 features. It's going to be very posable. Obviously, it'll come in the standard colors. There's not a lot to say on this at the moment beyond aesthetics and just like, hey, it's a shocker. We're getting a Seeker and they're being repainted 3 times.
Yeah, we talked about the Starscream before a while ago. When did the Starscream came out? We talked about it on May the 16th-ish time around then. Jesus. So I guess this is more the confirmation that Skywarp and Thundercracker, unsurprisingly, are getting done. So I guess the question is, what do you think of them?
I'm a little disappointed they don't have any face sculpts.
Yeah, I would agree.
But then again, I'm always amused by how many people... Yeah, but then sometimes they do this thing where they'll give them new face sculpts, but they'll give them like... Starscream will have neutral, like... Thundercracker will look sad, and Skywarp will have the smirk, which always says to me, like, we had these 3 faces done for Starscream, and then we just had to spread them out, and we didn't think about who gets what.
Yeah. Yeah, because they, like you say, they always give the smirk, which is not Skywarp to Skywarp. It's like, no, that's clearly the face you should have given Starscream. Snap.
Yeah. But, so just confirmation the other 2 Seekers are coming. No great shock, shall we say?
No.
But, I've handled a couple of these figures. They are very good.
To the point where you'd buy one?
Not for €100.
Oh, okay. No, that's
but
fair.
They're like they're a €60 plus figure, I'd say. Mm-hmm. But they basically have that artificial price escalation with diecast, but it's well applied diecast, but it's not necessary diecast.
Okay. Yeah. When you say that, it feels like it's there, but it doesn't have a massive functional purpose.
So it's someone can say premium.
Someone can give me the cold touch
figure.
The cold touch. Cold touch. I think I'm saying
Cold.
that wrong.
Come on. You can do it. Cold touch.
Test touch. Right?
No.
Fuck, what's the technique? Is it cold
touch technique?
Cold touch technique. Is that what Jobby says?
Yep.
Huh.
You have shamed him and you have shamed yourself.
Good. He can come on the show and berate me. I saw him dressed up as an Evangelion on Twitter, so I don't feel too bad about saying it.
Yeah.
I asked him not to recreate the Shinji scene in the hospital while he was at an anime convention.
Oh God.
He didn't respond,
what I said,
which I don't blame him.
When will children learn that imitating Evangelion isn't cool?
They'll never know, Mikey. They'll never be as cynical as you or I. Never.
No, right. Never be as right as you and I.
Oh, well, yeah, that's not untrue either.
Cynical implies that we've lost our ability to enjoy the world. Right implies that we are correct.
Yeah, right implies that the world's just bad all the time.
Yeah, the world is wrong in this case. We are right.
Yeah. Well, here's a question. Do you think MDLX are going to do not Skywarp, Sunstorm, and anybody else, Acid Rain? You think they'll come up? Or do you think it won't because 3-0 is a big boy company and didn't have time for that bullshit?
I think it's kind of like 3. I don't think they'll do outside the core ones. I don't think they'll do outside the core ones.
Okay. Yeah. I think you might be right, to be honest, but we'll wait and see, I suppose. Anything else on these guys, Mikey?
Nope, I'm good.
Nope.
So take us on.
All right. Well, now I've talked about Starscream. Okay. Oh yeah. This is the possible rumors of MP44. Yes, MP44 Optimus Prime toy deco colors. And the MP56 Diaclone Yellow Trailbreaker, i.e., best Trailbreaker. Best one. So, if you had umbrage with your Masterpiece Optimus Prime looking too much like the cartoon and not enough like the toy that you remember, this, I guess, is the one for you.
It's just, what a wild concept. After all that, just like, did you want this incredibly designed to be as toy accurate as designed to be as cartoon accurate as possible? Be more toy-like? No. Yeah. No, I didn't want the thing that was designed to be completely cartoon accurate to be more toy-like. You did that already, and then everyone complained.
When did MP44 come out? It's quite old.
A couple of years ago now.
Yeah, it's a few years old now.
Like 44 and 56, Jesus.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's still, Jesus, I do not even want to imagine the cost of this thing. Because that was, imagine the cost then.
Yeah,
now imagine the cost now.
Yeah, this one has to not come. It's not in the crappy images we have here, which are the quote unquote rumored ones, which are the ones that are always said to be rumored that always come out to be truthful. He's not shown with a trailer. I think it's fair to assume he won't come with a trailer, which I don't really care about. I'm sure there'll be some that do. So he'll be a little bit less than the other the original 44, but he's still gonna be 150 or more pounds. I would guess, money-wise, right?
Yeah.
So he's not going to be cheap. Yellow Trailbreaker. No. Yellow Trailbreaker. I like Yellow Trailbreaker. I don't want to own a Yellow Trailbreaker, but I could put a Yellow Trailbreaker in a G2 lineup and be reasonably pleased with that. Go, yeah, I'm happy here.
I don't believe that I need a Yellow Trailbreaker in my life, but I think it's more interesting than regular Trailbreaker.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. And it's Diaclone, isn't it? I think it's based off the Diaclone. Some people really like the Diaclone collection, so it'll fit nicely into that. But like you say, to be fair though, Trailbreaker's never a character who I'm like, oh, I gotta have me a fucking Trailbreaker. Ooh, come here, you dirty bitch. Get on my shelf. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Seems to come with a shield effect. Did Trailbreaker come with a shield effect?
I'm assuming so.
I assume, but they are just saying. I mean, they highlighted. That's the reason why I asked, because it's highlighted in the The little images here. So,
Hmm.
Justin Sharp says, finally caught the stream. Welcome, Justin. And XLHedge says, fire up the piss shield.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. It's got a nice, healthy yellow to it.
He has PP protection.
He does. But it doesn't cover his whole body. It just covers his tumbly wumbly, protecting his Winnie the Pooh figure that he has going on. So that's good. Oh, I'd give him a pot of cyber honey. That would be quite fun. Yeah, make him the Winnie Pooh of Transformers. That'd be fun. Shattered Glass Trailbreaker.
Oh my
He's
god.
evil Winnie the Pooh.
This is implying fun, and at the moment we have less fun.
Is this from Masterpiece or from Transformers, do you mean?
I mean, Masterpiece, certainly. When was the last time we got a wacky Masterpiece? Where's my Marlboro Wheeljack?
Oh,
Where are those days?
Yeah, they're gone. No, I think who was the last Beast Wars Masterpiece? Tigatron?
Tigatron, I think.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Hey, would it surprise you if I said Tigatron seemed to have a lot of problems regarding QC?
Gasp. Shock. Could it be true? A masterpiece with QC issues? No, to be fair, I suppose you could say a weird and wacky one with the train bots. I guess they're weird, just on the basis that, they don't really get done, but they have issues again, like we've talked about on the show, apparently from people who've picked them up. XLHedge says, MP Trailbreaker did not come with the piss shield. He didn't say piss shield, but he did say force shield. So that is new. The piss shield's new. So that's, I wouldn't say that's a reason to go out your way to buy a new Masterpiece figure, but something new at least. Justin Sharp says, have y'all seen the Optimus Prime Bumblebee core class set? Yeah, we talked about that last week. I didn't like... did we talk about it being $30 US last week for that set?
Which one? Which one was it again?
The core class Optimus Prime and the Bumblebee. The core class Bumblebee.
Oh, No, I didn't see the price, but
apparently it's going to be about $30 or something. Considering
modern prices, that's not actually too bad. That's only considering it's got a trailer and everything else, that's basically the price of 2 core classes.
Yes, the Bumblebee I think was a redo of a previous Bumblebee, so I don't think that's new, and I'm not sure if the Prime's new.
I don't think either of the core figures are new, but the trailer accessory and all that is new.
Yeah, that's true. But yes, we did talk about that. We were desperately thrilled by it because it's just it's
Here's the thing.
Justin's just said I've already pre-ordered it for $39.99, so it's $40 US.
Oh, okay. So it is in fact more, which means it would be like 100 over here.
Oh, he jokes, but he might not be wrong. No, to be fair, they just turned the dollars to pounds of. They turned the dollars to pounds for us, and then they'd probably add on another 15 euros.
For us, it would be about 10% added on again. So basically, you convert it over to the US price. You change the symbol, but then you add another 10%.
So it'd be about
15% sometimes.
So it'd be about 44, 45 euros.
I'd say, 45 would be what I'd expect it would be in the shops here, which...
Woof. Yeah, no dice. But yeah.
No dice, friend.
No, I'm not on board. Mikey, YOLO.
YOLO!
I saw Mr. Evangelist talk about the Primal. Did it tickle you?
Yeah, and he said it was a model figure kit, or a figure kit, not a model kit. And, it is. It's like a 10 minutes construction thing. I did say if I didn't hate Optimus Primal in the movie, I would try one of those because I'm curious. Yeah. And they're cheap for what they are. They're only 30 euros. And I didn't hate Optimus Primal. If I had to pick a favorite character of the Autobots and Maximals, he would be it. I think they just did a bit more with him than they did with a lot of the other characters. Even if they didn't really do much with it after they set it up. But, so I will at some point be picking up the YOLO Primal. I have no interest in the Optimus or the Bumblebee. I don't think I have any interest in this either, because my response to this, first of all, was I have no idea if this is accurate to the movie. Because
yes, what is this, Mikey? We haven't introduced this yet.
Yeah, so Rise of the Beast AMK series, the figure kits that you basically, they're not proper model kits, they're fully constructed action figures that you then build like the parts together to kind of like get that little bit of a builder thing, but it's really about getting a cheaper action figure. And they're doing Rise of the Beast Cheetor. So we get to see gray images of this. It's Cheetor, he's got a faceplate up, I think it's a faceplate. Presumably he will have a non-faceplated face because Primal did. He comes with claw hands and he comes with a big spear. I vaguely remember the spear because he throws it at Nightbird in one scene, I think.
Yeah.
You never see him standing still in robot mode. And while you never see him as a focus of an action scene, which means you never see his robot mode clearly. So I've honestly, like Primal, I know what Primal's robot mode looks like, and the YOLO Park is pretty accurate to it. I really don't know what the movie's show accurate model for Cheetor looks like, but I'll assume this is based off it.
I think that's fair to say.
And that's not me having a dig. That's me saying, yeah, I'm not having a dig or anything. I'm just saying, like, literally, I don't know if this is like 100% on the ball.
Well, yeah, because it's like you say, it's hard to say because Cheetor was barely in the movie. So yeah, that's especially in robot mode. So that's not an unfair. I'm sure if you like went through scene by scene or frame by frame for that last fight, you probably could get a good idea. But you don't have the ability since we don't have the DVD or Blu-ray as of yet. But the need to do that just to figure out
soon, though. I think it's.
Yeah, it's coming. I didn't want to add that as a story, but yeah, it's coming super duper soon, which is fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah, and also they've confirmed that this wave will also include Scourge. I would expect one more figure, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised with Mirage.
Yeah, well, he's meant to be like the Bumblebee of the movie, so it would be sad if they did Bumblebee, since Bumblebee had nothing to do with this film for the most part.
I didn't really love Mirage in any way, shape, or form. I found him less annoying than I expected to.
He was
which
there.
is great praise considering I expected him to be really annoying.
Yeah.
Like, some people love Mirage. They say he's the best Transformer we've ever had in the films. And I'm just like, he's not. He's irritating as fuck, but he's not as irritating as he could have been.
Who's the best Transformer than we've had in the live action movies, would you say, Mikey?
I would say... Shatter and Dropkick.
No, Autobots. Like main like
you said Transformers.
All right, well we'll limit that down to Autobots.
Bumblebee.
Only movie Bumblebee things are acceptable for this answer. Nothing else.
Am I wrong?
Best Autobot. Do we not just say like Murder Prime ironically?
I mean, Murder Prime is like my favorite, but you asked me best.
No, yeah. Best character. Oh, fuck, it's so hard because there's barely any Transformer characters in the Transformers movies. There are things that are almost characters.
Dragonstorm. There you go.
Wow. Yeah,
there's the best character.
Yeah, what a backstory. What a motivation. Oof, boy. You completely forget that's in that movie, don't you?
Yeah, people do. People forget the whole subplot about the fucking dragon that had no role in the final fight.
Do you remember how big of a toy he had as well, or it had? It was a massive. It was like the big centerpiece.
It was like Yeah, and it was like two robots combining, and it's just like, we're just going to get 13 and glue them together.
Oh, what a trip.
And then he's going to do nothing, despite the fact we also have a dinosaur in this movie, and we could have had them, like, I don't know, fighting each other or fighting together against a combiner.
No.
It's almost like you had a combiner. No, wait, we had a combiner, and we didn't use him for anything. No,
don't want it. XL Hedge says, build a figure without having to buy an entire wave of toys. Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
America,
it is like,
Hasbro kind of did these.
To put them together, but...
Do you remember for the movies, there were like, I think you had like entry Bumblebee, and you could add on the yellow bits and it would make him into Earth Bumblebee? I can't remember what that line was called though, but there was that.
You had a skeleton and then you could build upon the skeleton.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't remember what it was called, but they have played that.
God.
It was pretty bad.
I was toying with those for a long time, but yeah, they looked bad.
Yeah. I think
They
they
look
did that
bad.
stuff a few times over the movie's line, but there you go. XL Hedge also says, how is Mirage not the MacGuffin of the movie with all the BS rule breaking he got away with?
Because he wasn't, what would have happened if you put Mirage into a key slot? That would be hilarious. If just like, you have the transwarp key, and he just like grabs Mirage and just starts trying to shove him into a slot and turn him. As he's making weird dated 90s pop references that no one watching this movie under the age of 25 gets.
Yeah, good times. Yeah.
And to be fair, even those over the age of 25, between 25 and 35, don't get.
Yeah, because of the obscure stuff. Like, if don't do music references with me because I don't know. Unless you let
Marky
me hear
Mark
them.
made no sense. Marky Mark made no sense because
it
most
made
people
sense
born.
No, it made sense because like Marky Mark is Mark Wahlberg, and everybody knows Marky Mark was Mark Wahlberg, and he was in the Transformers movies. That's how you know.
Yeah,
Everybody
boy
knows
howdy!
that.
How many people went to see this movie and came out and saying like, "Who's Marky Mark?"
See, I like when I first heard the
howdy.
term Marky Mark, I thought that was just Mark Wahlberg's like nickname. I didn't realize it was like in reference to him being like a singer. I was like, what?
I thought it was like just kind of like a dig.
Yeah.
I thought it was like people don't like Mark Wahlberg, so they're calling him Marky Mark.
Like we called Shia LaBeouf the Beef.
The beef.
Yeah, it wasn't like a term of endearment. I thought it was a similar thing. Never mind. XL Hedge also says, Knights of Cybertron, best murder Prime victims. Best? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Prime's had a lot of victims, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who's my favorite Murder Prime kill?
Did not like the Fallen's pretty good for a kill.
No, for me it's Sentinel, because Sentinel was basically screaming and trying to get away.
No, I'm
And
just a
Optimus,
poor old man.
Ripped him to shreds and then shot him out to the back of his head.
You can't
Like,
say
with
no
a,
to...
with a cannon.
You can't
Not with
say...
a bullet, with a cannon.
You can't say no about, what's his name, Grindhouse?
Grindor.
Grindor, yeah, where Prime ripped his head apart with two hooks. That was also pretty good.
Yeah, that was funny too.
That was pretty good. Yeah, it's gunning down an old confused robot man while he's begging for his... Also killing Megatron, a wounded Megatron saying, you know what, how about peace? And Prime's like, no.
No peace.
No peace. Some people really like Dark of the Moon. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
This isn't the story of two factions at war. This is me personally disliking you and kind of disregarding like the fact we need to get a society going again.
How did they not do a movie where it was just Prime having PTSD and it's the Autobots having to put him down? He lived long enough to become the villain.
This is like Prime causing PTSD.
No, because I like the idea that he starts seeing Megatron and Decepticons in humans everywhere, so he starts just gunning down people, and they have to wrestle him. They have to wrestle him, and B's like, "I don't want to do it, Prime," and blows out Prime's face. Do it, B, before I kill again.
Before I take more lives.
We could go back to the whole like joke about, when we say that Prime just eats human beings for sustenance. We could go back to that. Then it would actually give Tom Scioli like reason for his comic. I like the idea of Prime just picking up people and eating them like they're peanuts. Like Murder Prime, at least, because he's a bad person.
Yeah.
But yeah. Cheeto, he's coming, I suppose. Shall we move on, Mikey?
Yes.
All right. San Diego Comic-Con. We have a few announcements, which I'm sure everybody's looking forward to, because Transformers Pops, which are pop vinyls, effectively, and Loungefly, which I've never heard of, are getting some things for San Diego Comic-Con 2023, which I guess is not too far off. We have got there's a Hot Rod or Rodimus, and there's a Galvatron. Galvatron's coming in his comic colors, and there's also a Soundwave bag, a book bag specifically. I'm not sure what the difference is, but a book bag of Soundwave from Loungefly. These are some of the hot exclusives, which I'm sure people are going to be really excited for San Diego Comic-Con. When I hear people talking about the exclusives they're looking forward to. Pop vinyls are always the top of the list, right?
I mean, if we're talking like in the wide world, that would be the more excitable one.
Yeah. These are a thing. They're coming. I don't think they're too exciting, but they're certainly coming. Do you remember the stint of SDCCs where they was just release the biggest Transformer but with chrome on it?
Yeah.
And do you remember when they did the cool Rock Band, which was like, damn, that was a really cool little set. That was a fun one. And then they stopped doing the fun ones and went back to the chrome. And it was like, oh, that was a shame. I like that Rock Band. I never got it, but I thought it looked cool.
Yeah, no, that was fun. That was a gag. Like, I'd get it, but I'd never want to open it. Like, it's one of those rare things I'd keep in box just because I like, it's just like, I think I'm at that age where like something like that, I'd be like, cool, I'll set it up for a display and it'll look good and then it'll get dusty and I'll get annoyed.
Yeah, that's fair. I would agree with you, but I can't remember if you could see the figures inside the box displayed in the box. If they're displayed in the box in like Rock Band pose, I'd be down with you for that. It'd be a shame if they're just sitting in a box, just in the vehicle mode, and you're like, no, I want them to be in a cool band, doing band things, Better than this though. I may as well take the next. Oh no, I'll let you take the next story because this is comic stuff, and you're really excited for Skybound because you were telling me that we need to start doing comics again. So I know how thrilled you are with this. Something. Yeah, it's true.
It occurred to me we have a series of shows we haven't been doing.
Yeah.
But Skybound have revealed both the Autobot roster last time, and now after a whole week, we have the Decepticon roster. And there's also an interview with the writer/artist Darren Warren Johnson, which is worth mentioning a few things about.
Oh,
so,
okay.
The roster, as confirmed for the Decepticons that we know of, is Starscream, Soundwave, Laserbeak, Frumble.
Safe.
I will say again, Frumble, and Skywarp.
Is that what they say? Oh no, they say Rumble. They say Rumble in the article.
I will say Frumble because we all know how this if this series goes on long enough, by God, there'll be a moment where he's black and red.
It sounds like you're just taking the coward's position. You should put your flag in the soil.
Frumble.
Don't sit on the fence. Choose a
Why
side.
isn't it enemy?
No. Do what some of the stupid like BotCon, eHobby exclusive ones. That'd be fun. Yeah, that'd be hella fun. Slugfest and Overkill. Do them.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Skywarp was not exciting either as a reveal. Like of all the secrets you could do, like Red Wing. I actually would have laughed with Red Wing, but like bloody Skywarp. Anyway, so. This series is out in October. Colors by Mike Spicer, writing and art by Daniel Warren Johnson. And yeah, he did an interview with the Comic Pop Returns YouTube. So he was just doing a general interview, went into Transformers about halfway through, and it did have some things that at least tell me some of the psychology behind this series. So he was commissioned by Skybound. He's excited. He's been a casual fan since he was a kid, so he does collect stuff like a few masterpieces and stuff like that. Apparently, he got very excited about getting Masterpiece Optimus Prime in 2004, back when he was in his 20s and presumably still had hope for the world.
Yeah.
But he's very much, I want to do the cartoon from my childhood. That's very, very strongly communicated. He's got a little bit of that, and this is me trying not to sound like I'm a disenfranchised fan. The creator doesn't like me. No. But he's got a bit of that comic writer, fans don't really know anything, my opinion matters.
Ooh.
Otherwise known as why Amazing Spider-Man is the way it is. Because it's not uncommon, it's not universal by any stretch of the imagination, for comic writers and comic editors to sometimes kind of think that fans are in the way of their product, not actually the thing making money from their product. And he did something very unsubtle, which I thought was a little unprofessional for an incoming writer, when you could have said it in a lot more of a diplomatic way about how people are reacting strongly to some things, like, hey, here's the roster, and he says like, oh, the thing I get the most is boring. about the roster, and then the guy in charge of it, who obviously wasn't keeping up with Transformer comics, he goes off on a tangent about how could you be bored by any of this, and also like he wanted to come out to do G1 cartoon style, at least visually, and apparently some of Hasbro's feedback early on was, could you make it less G1? And he said, that's not why I came onto this project. So
wow, even Hasbro said they didn't want just solid G1. Oh my god.
Well, Mike from Hasbro is still there. Mike from Hasbro is still, as far as we know, the comic liaison.
Wow.
And we know he is responsible for Autobot Megatron. So,
yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Not Mayor Megatron,
that guy's,
unfortunately, but you know.
No, not Mayor Megatron. But he, you know, in a way, because I don't think we'd have gotten Autobot Megatron without Mayor. We wouldn't. I don't think we'd have gotten Mayor Megatron without Autobot Megatron.
I would agree. That's fair. Yeah.
I also don't think we'd have gotten Earthspark Megatron. So I like Earthspark Megatron. He's the best thing about that show. So it does communicate a lot to me as, you know, someone I've been around for. I am a comic fan. I am a Transformers fan. I have been in both sides of that circle for a long time, and I am familiar with a lot of the things. It does communicate to me some of the attitudes. No word on whether this is going to be a miniseries or an ongoing or what's the story. But yeah, like I said, it had a bit of that. It's just something you see. Dan Slott is like a comic writer who leaps to mind with this. Dan Slott is super prone to this. I'll kind of just feeling like, listen, I just want to tell my story, and you readers need to shut the fuck up and do what I tell you.
What is it specifically about comic writers that seem to always go for this? No, fuck the fans. I'll do what I want, and I'll insult the fans. Why is it that comic writers, generally speaking, are much more, in terms of media, are much more likely to tell the fans to get fucked, which is never a good idea.
It's an interesting thing to me. I actually think it comes from the fact, I've thought about this before, like it comes from the fact partially that they are fans themselves. They got into comic writing because they like the medium. They got into comic writing because they like the characters. He's doing Transformers because he likes Transformers. But when you like something, it's not like I'm writing on a book for a company. I'm writing on my book, on my thing for this company. Oh my God, I'm writing Spider-Man. Oh my God, I'm writing The Flash. Oh my God, I'm writing Transformers. That kind of thing. That's very, very common. And like Mike Costa came on wanting to feel that way. He didn't get it. And then he was feeling really personally attacked by a lot of what the fans were saying. Zeb Wells over on Spider-Man, just because he's the most recent one in my mind, he's made it very clear he kind of is feeling personally attacked, and it's the fans' fault for not liking his book. And he's gotten to the point where he's saying he's literally trying to piss people off.
So do you think
which isn't good storytelling?
Are you thinking it's almost a bit like a self-entitled kind of approach of I'm not like adding to the mythos, I'm doing the thing that I want to do, and if people don't like it, they're in the wrong? Because that's never a good idea to stand for making something, at least.
Very much so. But like if you look at the Donny Cates run of Hulk, right? He pitched that at the same time Immortal Hulk was pitched, and he ended up getting Venom, which I didn't think was a very good book. Some people like it. I think it was just Donny Cates being weird for the sake of being weird. And Al Ewing got Hulk. He did his 2 or 3 years of Hulk. Immortal Hulk wrapped up one of the best reviewed versions of Hulk in all time, in history. Like, one of the most respected ones. And instead of thinking, how do I integrate that into the story I want to tell, Donny Cates just told the story he originally wanted to tell, which was completely different, which fed off nothing from Immortal Hulk. And he said, well, that's the story I wanted to tell. He didn't think about the wider implications of what he was doing. It's like, again, like Heroes in Crisis is another good example. Like, they wanted, the editors and the writer both want, because none of them are innocent, they wanted to tell this story. They made many bad choices with that book, which was not just killing Wally West, but they made many bad choices with that book. For instance, making it a murder mystery at all was a mistake. It should have just been a psychological thing about trauma. That's the story you want to tell that story. I don't care about who killed who, because if you want to talk about how people come back from situations where they put themselves at risk for others and end up they end up with PTSD and guilt and suffering, don't derail that one page in by saying, and now there's a murder mystery.
Yeah.
But I also think there's a lot of detachment with any creator from their audience in some way. I think there has to be, of course, but yeah, I do think comic writers and comic editors come in with very particular views of how they think things should be, and they do seem to take it personally when the fans don't react well, and their response is frequently, well, it's not me. The children are wrong.
Yeah, wasn't it like Heather Antos had said in a video interview, if you don't like my comics, don't buy my books or something like that. And the comic industry has been suffering massively as well at this point with that kind of attitude.
Yeah, but who was it? I don't remember her name, but there was like a Nightwing run, I think it was like 2000s, mid 2000s, where character Tarantula, I think it is, rapes Nightwing.
It's not Gail Simone, is it?
No.
Okay.
But it was a younger writer, and she basically came in and said, yeah, well, it's not rape, and I don't intend it to be rape, and if you see him being forced in the street to have sex with a woman as rape, then that's a problem. She came back years later and said, holy shit, what the fuck was I talking about? She basically said, I wanted to have these two as a couple because it was interesting, and I didn't think about what I was doing. But This is a little bit of a... Okay, I'm going to preface this, which is I genuinely do not give a single shit that Tim Drake is bisexual now. I think if that opens up interesting stories, fantastic. But the writer for the current Robin run had him dump Stephanie and got him with some new guy she made. And the problem there isn't that he's with the guy. The problem there is that she dumped Stephanie because she doesn't like Stephanie. And she said, oh, I just don't like Stephanie. And it's just like, cool, but you didn't, you literally just dropped her and then moved on. You didn't work it into the story and do anything natural with it. Yeah, and then she did an issue attacking the fans.
Isn't Stephanie like the long-time girlfriend? Like they've been together for a while now, right?
Since the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's also the one who gets the shit kicked out of her by editors and writers constantly. Because people don't like her, despite the fact she was a very good Batgirl.
Sorry, did you say Dan DiDio kicks the shit out of her?
She-Hulk.
Did I? Was Dan DiDio involved
he's
in it?
Another good example as well. But, yes, he was, I think. No, he wasn't involved in that. That was after he left.
Okay.
He was involved in her being murdered after becoming Robin.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But the She-Hulk run from a couple of years ago that introduced like the big bulky Hulk version of her, the writer took it really personally when people said, well, we don't really like the aesthetic or the fact she feels like Hulk, she doesn't feel like Jennifer. And he did an issue which was basically saying, broadly speaking, was saying that anyone who doesn't like my Hulk is a horny idiot and needs to get over themselves. Like, Mary Jane isn't the romantic interest in the current Spider-Man run because Zeb Wells fancies Black Cat.
Oh,
so Black Cat's the romantic interest. And because he hates us. And because Spider-Man's editors hate us. Like, I compare that to something like Jeremy Adams' Flash run recently. Was phenomenal. Like, honestly, I have read every single Wally West Barry Allen run since the 1980s. I've read every single one. This is one of the top three, possibly. Like, it's top three. It's like, I think Wade's is better. I think Jeff Johns is as good.
Oh.
So it's tied for the second spot for me. This is a very good run. I genuinely recommend, like, if you want to read a good comic, read the Jeremy Adams Flash run. It's just brilliant. It's got great art. It's got fun stories. It's enjoyable. It feels so anti what DC frequently falls into. It's now being replaced by a Flash run that's going to be a horror-based story. I don't know how that's going to play out.
That could be interesting.
But like, for me, it really converse because his response has always been very open, and like I've seen him talk to people and he's just like, oh, people don't like that. Like, that's okay. Like, you know, we can't all love everything. Like, the attitude's not there.
Okay.
A lot of Transformers writers like John, James, I think sometimes went a little bit off the rails, but not as bad as some mainstream. Nick,
I think the problem that you and I both said with James was his stories definitely felt dictated by what the fans were gravitating towards, especially the difference between More Than Meets the Eye and Lost Light. Yeah. There was a massive, what I would call a massive drop in quality. And it seemed to all be based on, there was a certain loud minority majority of fans that wanted a specific style that James was kind of doing a little bit of, and James saw that and directed into that fandom and just went whole hog into it. And I did not like Lost Light.
Yeah. No, I don't like Lost Light for a myriad of reasons. And I wish the good parts of Lost Light, because they were
They were great ideas.
I wish we had but like, like the first one that comes into my mind is bloody Eno. There's so much you could have done with this character who is a Cybertronian, but she's trans. She's not been modified by an experiment. It's just like, cool, she's a trans robo lady. Why don't we delve into this, like, without making her hateful? I hate her as a person, and then ramming her down your throat for 7 issues, saying like her, I don't like her, and then you did that bloody Nautica story. I hate that Nautica story, but I don't know. Comic creators, I think there's just a different psychology going on, and again, I'm basing this off a half an hour interview where I just saw the guy's reactions and thought, okay, this doesn't read to me as someone who's thinking I need to draw in readers.
It is strange.
It feels like someone who's dictating to the readers.
It's strange that a comic company would see like the way that they interact with their fans and not be concerned, because I think if I was running a comic company and I saw like effectively a writer telling the fans in so lesser terms as to fuck off, just enjoy this story even though everybody hates it, I think I'd be more like, I gotta call this person up and tell them to either shut the fuck up or leave the company, leave. Because you don't want, what public relations do? If you keep telling people to fuck off, they will fuck off and they will not buy your book. And you want them to buy your book. The customer is always right is a thing.
It's a strange thing.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing. I think one of the problems comics have is that because on social media exists and bad decision, like the thing with Miss Marvel spread like fucking wildfire, so people bought the book to see it because so they could hate it. Like hate buying and hate reading is a very big. It's kind of weird, but it is a very big part of comic marketing now. It really is, and it's unpleasant to me that has become such a large part of things. But it would be really hard for me to say, oh no, like comics are being sold on like good press and good stories. They're being sold on press. Any press is good press as far as they're like the fact that Miss Marvel leaked sold them more copies because more people bought that book to be like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't think as a company you should ever delve into hate marketing. That's
yeah. Look at Velma. Look at Velma.
The hate marketing idea seems to never pan out because at the end of the day you're just burning your bridges behind you and eventually the fire's going to catch up to you. Velma is one of those shows that people are like, oh, you've made season 2 happen. Probably not. In all honesty, that's probably not the case because animation is very expensive. Animation's usually done in a batch of 2 seasons or more, unless it goes down incredibly poorly, like to the point where no one's watching it. You usually buy it in bulk. And by doing so, Velma probably was always going to get 2 seasons unless it did so badly numbers-wise that they were just going to be like, no. So I don't think people hate watching it. Made it come to the foreground. Or at least made season 2 definitely happen.
Yeah. I would actually argue that on one thing, which is many times animation or live action, the next season is greenlight before release based on predicted numbers. So I could very easily see like we're predicting X number of people are going to watch it because of bad press, good press, whatever. Ergo, we're going to say, okay, we'll greenlight a season 2 under the assumption it will perform as well. Because I also think especially now, usually the guaranteed 2-season thing is more tied into the 8-episode release schedule shows rather than the full 13, 26 episode shows. So it's tricky as well, but I think that if you're a creator, to be fair, blunt, even if you're the biggest prick on earth, you should approach marketing with the assumption that you need to make people like you, not hate you.
Or just don't interact with them. There's always the thing of just not talking to people on Twitter. Yeah.
Be a mysterious face because that will sell too.
Yeah. And if people don't like it and you're not on Twitter, you won't see the hate for it. So you're not hurt by it. It's fine. You're done.
And Twitter's either going to eat itself alive or become a sentient being within the next 2 years, so you may not have to worry about it.
There'll be another platform. It doesn't matter if Twitter dies. There'll be another thing.
God, yeah.
There always is.
There already is like there's like so many waiting for Twitter to die so they can leap at it.
XL Hedge says, what about Migrid Scott going off on people over the Flame Toys Windblade? I remember that. Yeah, that was a bit sad to see.
I remember that, but I would also say that was sad to see, but I wouldn't say that's related to the comics. So
it's a little
I'm
different,
specifically saying the comic. Yeah, that is her like, oh, that's a character I created. I'm taking this personally, which is not like saying, hey, you're a moron for not liking my book. It's saying you're a moron for not for liking this design this way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to defend her for that. I think if you like Flame Toys Windblade, if you don't like Flame Toys Windblade, it's not reflecting on your intelligence or decency or anything. Like, I mean, it reflects in your sexual preferences, I suppose. But
the only Windblade design where I think you're a moron for liking it is the Generations toy, the first toy of her. That's the only time where I'd be like, you're a moron for liking that one, because it's the worst looking version of Windblade.
I make excuses for this. Yeah, I make excuses for the Slipstream version.
Oh, the Slipstream's fine because she had like a normal face. She had a badly designed back heel. Like the back heels on that toy, diabolically
the face is bizarre on that original toy.
Yeah, you mean on the Windblade?
But like the face in that original one. For
Slipstream, she's fine. She's got a normal head. Japan did good, but yeah, the Windblade's just no. Is it no? Thank God they fixed her. She looks so much better in every incarnation after that. Thank God. And I think Sarah Stone really hammered down how she should look in the Windblade series.
Yes.
She looked great in that.
Yes, very much so. Really wish they'd stuck around.
Yeah.
Well, what can you do? But anyway, so basically, don't be a dick.
Yeah,
Darren. If by off chance Darren Warren Johnson was listening to this at some point, I would say like, sell yourself as much as you're selling the book, because you will matter. Because this is a fandom that takes great personal interest in the creators, not just the product. Ask Nick's Roach convention career. Like he is guaranteed places because he has put a lot of effort into coming across as a nice, approachable, decent dude who will just treat fans fairly.
Oh, lying, you mean? Because he's a monster.
Lying. He is a dickhead. He's an awful human being, and we should stone him. But no one else will do it for me, and I'm not going to start that. Yeah,
because he's made it out like he's a good person, and people are on his side. So this is why you have to play the dancing game. Don't call people assholes online. Just don't do it. It's not a good idea.
Yeah, I still I've got all the Darren Johnson books ready to read. I just need to read them. So it's what? Beta Ray Bill, Dual Powerbomb, Extremity, Murder Falcon, Space Mullet, and Wonder Woman Dead Earth. I'm more interested in Beta Ray and Dead Earth than I am in Murder Falcon and Space Mullet. Extremity, we'll see. Looks like a bird wrestler.
Oh. I was hoping it was just going to be a falcon that murders people, like, aggressively. No, that's fine.
Just this one bird. This one incredibly aggressive bird.
Yeah, like, maybe it's like a story of, like, a hunter shoots the bird's, like, family. Like, it shoots its baby bird's head off and something. And it's just, like, a revenge plot. So this bird, like, goes through America, killing off his family members to try and find him.
Jesus, Andy. There's a manga about a chicken that fights like mutants.
Like he strangles people with his wings. Just watches the life drain out of their eyes slowly.
Yeah, there's a really weird, like, straight-faced chicken versus post-apocalyptic mutants. And it's like really straight-faced. Like it's worth checking out.
Oh, you know how birds feed baby birds? It could do that, but it just drowns the person in that stuff.
Oh my God.
In the bird vomit.
Well, that's a lovely image.
Yeah. Murder bird. It's flapping into a store near you soon.
Right. Moving on.
Shall I take the next one, Mikey?
Please. Love of God.
All right. So the Transformers the movie toy line, which are the reissues of toys, they're doing kickback. Now, previously, when we've had releases of the Insecticons, at least in the Takara book series, which was one I have, they released all of the Insecticons in one box because they are very small boys. They're not big. They are they're core class scale, effectively, really.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so I guess they want to sell each Insecticon individually. We're kicking off with Kickback. Ho, 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 ho. Joking time. I would be unsurprised if this wasn't £25 or more, to be honest. And I think that will be an overprice. I don't know how frequently the Insecticons have been done since the Takara box series. But again, I can't say personally that, I care too much about this release of them. I guess it'll be more quote unquote toy accurate. Cartoon accurate. I'm interested to see when they do Bombshell what that means. Because what does that mean, Mikey? Because Bombshell is in the animation series or in animation as his bug form, he is black and purple. In Robot, he's very grey. Very, very grey. How do you do that? What do you go for? Do you go for grey bug for robot mode, or do you go for black bug for the more accurate bug mode? Which one do you think you go for?
There's a very easy explanation for this, Andy.
Okay.
You do 2 packs.
Well, you say so you do Bombshell in a 2-pack with himself. So there's a black version of him and a silver grey version of him.
Yeah.
For £50.
Yeah.
For 2 core class size figures. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Makes sense to me.
I mean, to be fair, like Transformers the movie, we had Hound in this line, so what the fuck does it even mean? Who knows? At least Kickback's in the movie, I guess. But
I think Hound's in like a scene.
Is he? I don't know.
I think he's with Cup. I think he's with Cup when he's building stuff.
Oh, when he's moving the stop sign. Yeah.
I think so. No one quote me on that. But
I could buy it. I could buy he's there. I don't think we saw a dead corpse of him at least. But Kickback, he's coming. Mikey, you interested in a Kickback? A Kickback coon?
No, God, no.
All right, well, fuck you, Kickback. I'll take the next story as well, just because that one was a quickie. This was a bit of a surprise. It's the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover, the Thunder Machine, into Soundwave. Thunder Machine being the Dreadnoks vehicle, and it comes with Zartan and Zarana. I'm a little disappointed it wasn't Zarana and Xandar. I think his name is Zartan's brother. Just because, you do Zartan, it's the obvious one. He's the leader of the Dreadnoks, but I'm pretty sure Zartan didn't really use the Thunder Machine, but I can't remember offhand. Either way, this is... Oh, they come with a Ravage. Which Ravage is this? Because this is a redo of a
Masterpiece.
Ravage. Oh, it's Masterpiece Ravage, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. It comes with a little collar, which is cute. It's the old school version of Zartan and Zarana, so Zarana looks ugly as fucking sin. Jesus Christ. But I think this might be... We only get a few images of the robot mode, but this might be the best looking Transformers G.I. Joe crossover figure we've had out of the 3 of them, which is the Megatron Hiss Tank, which I thought looked shit, the Bumblebee Stalker Buggy or something like that, which I thought looked shit. I think this one looks like the best of them. What do you think of it, Mikey? Because they've recreated the vehicle perfectly. It's weird, it's a silly machine, but it's fun.
Yeah, I think, and I think this highlights the biggest apart from the fact there's some engineering problems with the other 2, and I think there's going to be engineering problems with this guy as well.
Yeah.
What this highlights to me is how important color was.
Oh.
Picture if the Thunder Machine was, say, blue and pink, right? But because genuinely, just picture it. And now we want it to turn into Soundwave, but Soundwave still has to look Soundwavy, so he still has to have classic colors. So what you would have is all the obvious Thunder Machine bits would be blue and pink, and then you'd have this blue and yellow robot in the middle. Which is exactly how they did Megatron and exactly how they did Bumblebee. What they did here was get a blue and red vehicle that has the right blue, and they just did it as Soundwave.
Yeah, and they've kind of shoved the red on his foot and then to his back, so it's kind of out the way.
Yeah,
generally.
It really says to me I think Megatron should have been all black, not all gray. But I think that whoever came up with the idea that it has to be G1 made a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
I still think they made a mistake here because I think you could have ended up with a much more interesting and better transformation if this didn't have to be G1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the fact that the roof is still basically just completely untransformed and it's there for a gimmick.
Yeah.
I'm amused by Zartan's like looking down the barrel of a cannon, which is just funny to me.
Maybe it's like a megaphone.
But yeah, this is definitely the best looking one though. This is like, this thing is going to be enormous as well. These things are very big. So this is the best looking one. Ravage is fun because it looks like Hellback. Of these sets, this is the one I would want.
Yeah.
I think if I get it in hand at any point, I'll be like, cool. This still has a ton of problems, but it looks better.
Maybe you'll get to handle one at TF Nation, potentially, depending on when this is released. I would imagine if this has been shown here, it's more than likely going to be released maybe before August, I would think, right? If we're seeing it now.
I would also say,
maybe not.
Yeah. I would also, I would be surprised if this feels better than Megatron or Bumblebee. But maybe it will. But I think. But yeah, like, I think if you want this is kind of heading down the, again, it would be more interesting to me if he was a different color, but fine. It's good. Like, it's a good looking toy for what it is. For me, what's kind of important is highlighting one of the biggest problems of the other ones was this absolute adherence to G1 color schemes and G1 aesthetics.
Yeah. I think
I mentioned I'm tired of G1.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I think an issue that we can see, there is the front of the car seemingly hanging off of his forearms, which is a bit of a shame. Not surprising. Like you say, I think if we weren't so adherent to G1 and we did more of the Devil's Due thing, we don't do the Devil's Due alt modes, because I don't think those would work either for what they're trying to go for. But if we did something with the robot modes just to kind of incorporate them a bit more and make a new Transformer that didn't look G1, that could be fun. But we both know that that's not how this era works anymore. Bit of a shame. I like the guns Soundwave comes with. I like that it comes with a shank and a slightly awkwardly held two-barreled like chain gun, which works way better in the vehicle mode, but it looks fun. Strange that the Ravage is blue and red. I think that's just because of the plastic injection that they're using, and they didn't want to use a new injection to just do a black version of Ravage, but yeah, that's fine. No, I think this is pretty solid. XL Hedge says, Hound only scene is watching Prime say Megatron must be stopped no matter the cost. Oh yeah, that's when he gets off the arc. Oh yeah. I forgot. Mr. White says, the Soundwave is screaming out for a cheesy headband. I know it was done already, but it fits the motif. That'd be fun. But that wouldn't be G1 accurate, unfortunately, Mr. White, so you're an idiot, clearly.
Yeah. See what you're doing here? You're thinking outside the box. You need to be in the box.
Yes.
Comfortable, secure, safe.
It's the Office meme where everybody's like, let's make him G1. Oh, blue and red, perfect. Give him Ravage. And Mr. White is the guy that said, what about a headband for fun? And then Mr. White's thrown out the window. Yeah, oh, okay. Fair enough. Mikey, do you want to take the last two stories? Because I think they're fairly quick as well.
Okay. Well, we got more. Oh, we do only have two. Well, we got three technically, but I'll take them all. Okay. Also, no. Okay, I'm rambling. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Got away from me. You may have to cut that one out for the main release. So we have new listings from Amazon and Walmart. One is Retro Skywarp, Shock Horror.
Retro?
Shock Horror.
The original.
Retro.
Okay. Oh, it'll be the movie line version of it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. And then the other one is a bit unusual in that it's Comic Javelin and Cascade from the Ecom Capsule, which presumably is the next line after Toxitron.
Which one was Cascade?
So for anyone who doesn't know,
but I can't remember Cascade.
Cascade is an IDW2 character.
Okay, I'll find an image.
So, Javelin, for anyone who doesn't remember, was part of Firestar's crew in the what issue was it? It was the Thunderclash issue where the More Than Meets the Eye crew meets up with Thunderclash's crew, and it was for me it was the Red Dwarf issue that went to Red Dwarf. But Cascade was an IDW2 character. She basically like appeared in the background in like 3 or 4 issues. She's an Ascenticon, I think. Yeah, she's an Ascenticon, which technically means she's one of the bad guys. Pack in. I have no idea. Like, I would put money down. This is not going to be a new mold or anything like that.
No.
I don't know who they get. I don't know what Javelin turns into. I like Javelin's design. Like, head sculpt is going to be cool, I think, but we've very little to go on. It's just like cool comic stuff. Cool.
One of them seems to be
maybe it's
using
a
like an
Headmaster.
H cycle. Like, if that's the case, it looks like it might be using the Blur mold and then tweak it. Maybe the IDW version of the Blur movie mold, if you remember that one.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's the idea. Because they've used that
I
mold a
don't know, that
lot,
wasn't
a
great mold.
shocking amount actually.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be done out of DevCon.
I'm literally giving that mold away. Like, I was excited about that mold and I got it and I was just like, oh god,
Which one, the
it really
IDW
wasn't
Blur?
worth the wait. Yeah.
Oh.
It was just a real shame to me because I really like IDW Blur.
Yeah,
But,
I'm pretty sure I remember hearing it was kind of a mediocre kind of release. You just say it's bad, to the point you want to throw it away.
Yeah, I think it's a bad toy.
Okay, all right.
And people are free to tell me otherwise, but I think they are wrong. I think the
Okay.
new head sculpt is very good, but I think it is a bad toy. So the other bit of news is TFCon has announced a new guest in the form of Paul Eiding, who of course played Perceptor in some Quintessons and many, many other things over the years. He'll be at TFCon Toronto in July 14th to July 16th, 2023, joining Dave Kay, Terry Govern, James Roberts, Jack Lawrence, Aaron Asher, Venus Terrezo, and Frank Todaro. The other bit of convention news is TF Nation have started announcing their fan panels. These are the ones that are going to be going on throughout the week. And the first one announced is Build-A-Mech, History of Gunpla, which is going to be on Friday. So it's being produced by A.B. Silvera and Erica Walsh, who are going to go through the history and development of the Gundam plastic model kits, or Gunpla, learn about different technological advances, how Gunpla became a cultural phenomenon, and its expansion throughout the globe, as well as how you can dip your toes into this fun and totally not life-absorbing hobby.
Are you gonna scream about how it's not fair that some of the best, most interesting HGs are always web exclusives?
I'm also going to have a picture printed out of the anchor, and I'm just going to hold it over my head with Justice for Crossbones on it.
You should also be very drunk, and start complaining about how difficult it is to get some molds because there are scalpers in Japan because of the COVID lockdown.
Yep.
Should do that.
You fucked us over, and we're still being fucked over.
Yep. I heard it got so bad that in the Gunpla Cafe places, you're only allowed to buy one of each model kit, and you're only allowed to get like 3 kits a day or something like that.
Yeah, some of them are actually limiting your shopping range.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
But hey, sure, I'm glad that when I got into a hobby, it's when people are thinking about taking immoral advantage of people.
Well, that's what you get for joining during the pandemic. Should have got in sooner.
Well, technically, I got the Berga guy before then.
Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a while ago. Damn.
Yeah, I got him before COVID. A Daddy Berga guy who I love, who's over me now, watching me, as a father does. One day I do want to get the other two in that one, like Mama and Baby. But yeah, so it's an interesting one. I think Gundam Mad is the store that's going to be at TF Nation this year. So if you're interested if you see this panel on Friday and you're just like now vibrating, you're like must build it. You will have a source on hand. I'll stand next to the table, going like, you don't want that one. It's a real Gate Zeta. You don't want a real Great Zeta. What you want is these, and it's just like, yeah, it's just like I'm just standing there sneaking, like. Take this. Go on. Want this. It's just like, sir, I don't know you.
What HG kit would you like there to be at TF Nation? If you saw it, you'd be like, I have to buy it. Okay, maybe not HG. Let's just say, there's one Gundam kit there, and you go, holy shit, I can't believe they've got this. I'll buy it. I've got no choice. I have to buy it now.
I know which one it would be. The fancy Leo. Oh, what's it called? Leo S. Is it Leo S? The one with the rapier and the cape.
Oh, from G Gundam. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Which was
Or
again
the
a
Fallen
web
Ash.
exclusive, because fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. The Fallen Ash would be another one I'd really like. That Master Grade web exclusive.
Which one's Fallen Ash?
It's a Master Grade. It's I don't remember what it's derived from, but it's like it's really cool looking.
Is it the RX-78?
Fuck off. I would get the Musha Gundam.
Oh, yeah, it's a shame that's old. I wish it was better, newer technology. It's neat though.
I've got the 2.0, and it's a fairly fun build. So like it's enjoyable. I've got the full armor version of the 2.0, and like I would build it again. It was a fun build.
Yeah.
I get any of the Turn A's, like Master Grade or High Grade. I would leap at those.
Is Turn A hard to get now?
Turn A design.
HGM.
Yeah, well, it was one of the COVID ones. It got very popular in COVID. Very, very popular. I got the Gundam, the Double X. Yeah, I would have said the Double X, but I got the Double X.
That's a good one.
What would be a good high grade? What would be a high grade? I'd say like if you see it, buy it and bite the hand off of anyone who.
Well, you've got Moon, so you don't need to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, I would say like as an intro, one of the new wing kits. So it would be Deathside, Shenlong, Heavy Arms, or Sandrock.
Yeah,
they're very good starter kits.
Yeah, they're all good.
Very good, very recent starter kits.
Mm-hmm. And only some of them are web exclusives.
Yeah. I would avoid build fighters or the build stuff because while there are good stuff in there, oh boy, are there some old kits missing in there as well.
Yeah,
some old, not fun kits to build.
It's a bit of a minefield, unfortunately.
Yeah, and don't get any real grade before the Unicorn unless it's the Mark II.
Yeah.
You can get the Mark II, don't get any other ones. They will fall apart. The Mark II is weird because it shouldn't have worked as well as it did, but it did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a nice solid kit. Any real grade after the Unicorn, completely safe. Yeah. But do you know what I would actually leap at? The non-gold version. Not because I necessarily want the combined form, because I want the individual form. The non-gold version of the Re-Rise Gundam.
Oh, all right.
That would give me the 4 core bots for the main characters. Hobby Frontlines had the gold colored one for ages, but that looks shite.
Yeah.
So I don't really like the design of the Re-Rise. It's a really fun moment in the show, but I don't like the design. But I would love to have those just 4 core characters and the core Gundam, obviously, because that gives you a lot of freedom to do stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of kits I'd like. I'd snap up anything from Zeta's villains, any of them. There's so many of those I want. Old kit, new kit, I don't care which one it is. I'd absolutely snap one of those up. Any ones you'd say, oh god, if that was there, I'd have to grab it.
The Rose, even though it's French.
Love Rose. Oh, that is. Hey Andy, did you know that was Bandai Premium exclusive?
I do, because like I said earlier, fuck you, because of course it is. I mean, we still want the Tequila Gundam and Windmill Gundam, but
yeah. But Joy doesn't exist. I want them.
It's the fact they haven't done the rest of the fucking Shuffle Alliance yet, and if they haven't done the rest of the Shuffle Alliance, they're not going to go and do the weird ones. Definitely.
I want the Virago, and I'm shocked they haven't done it yet.
From After Wars Gundam X.
X.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be neat as well. That would be a web exclusive as well, because that's a villain, and it's a weird design. So that's definitely a fuck you.
But yeah, there's quite a lot from that era that I'm shocked we haven't gotten something of. But as much as I'd love the Tequila Gundam, I don't think we're ever getting the Tequila Gundam. But
I agree.
I'd like. Do you know what I would definitely get? A Mark III.
Oh.
A real grade, not a real grade, a Reborn 100 Mark III.
Okay.
I really like that design. I've never had a chance to pick up a Reborn 100. So I want to know what they're like.
Big.
I also kind of want the real grade Unicorn just because I want to see how they integrated that engineering in, but I don't care about the Unicorn.
I've got the Banshee, and it's not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't have an affection for the show, so it's kind of cool, but Like Unicorn's just kind of off. Like, cool, that happened. Had a bad follow up,
Oh yeah. NT.
but sure.
Oof.
But
Well, are there any other panels that have been announced that tickled your pickle, Mikey?
nothing yet. I think they're getting a lot of announcement out this week. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But yeah, so that's the news, really.
That's the news. Well, Mr. Mikey, what have you been up to this week? What have you done for fun? Any Gundam stuff?
Oh, no Gundam stuff. I am taking my 2 build real grades with me. I'm going away for home to see family for a couple of weeks. So I am taking the God and Gao Gaigar, and I'm hoping to have at least one of them finished by the end of next week. So they're going to be my evening thing after work. So because I've got the God Gundam. Literally, the box is just here in my hand, and it must be built. It calls to me. But I just haven't had the time or the energy to do a lot of building in recent weeks. So I did watch New King Oger, so episode 18 of King Oger, seemingly bringing a lot of the Rackless, the human villain stuff to finale. I'm sure there's more to come. But introduces a new power-up, which is a little overly bulky.
Oh.
It has what I call like my head's disappearing collar, but it's okay from like a non-moving angle. But good story, good acting, a lot of focus on Black this time around, who's one of the better characters. Kaguragi is a really interesting character. Again, good action scenes, King Oger hasn't had a bad episode. I'm interested in everything that's going on, and I'm looking for. I don't know what's going to happen next because I can pretty much predict which era they're moving into, but I don't know how they're going to play it out.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Unicorn Warriors Eternal wrapped up this week. Didn't watch it. What I'm actually going to do is free up some time next week and watch the whole show in one go, because I think that's how the show is meant to be seen.
Yeah.
It's so serialized. I want to see how that plays out. I'm really looking forward to it because I enjoy the individual episodes. I just want to see, does the whole thing play out more cohesively, as a single unit. I haven't watched Geats. Honestly, I'm kind of avoiding it. I do want to, but I also don't, because everything I'm hearing is not making me love it, and it feels like they're trying to emulate other better writer shows. And I know some people love Geats. I know it's super popular in certain circles, and
did they say why?
But I've never asked, if I'm honest. But for me, Geats is a good writer trapped in a bad cycle.
Okay.
And there are plenty of elements about Geats I do like, but yeah, also the stuff they're pulling with the secondary at the moment is hilariously not a good idea, in my opinion, because the actor's not good enough. I've seen a couple of clips, and the actor is not up to the task. And it's also the fact that basically he hasn't been significant to the story for more than 20 episodes. Wow. He's been there, but he hasn't done anything because it's been the Geats and Buffa show.
Right.
Which is fine. I like Buffa. He's probably the best of the characters. He's certainly got one of the best designs. And I'm interested to see what they do for his power-up. And I do kind of like Tycoon's power-up. It's just like, please, like, you're trying... Someone out there must like Gaim, because you're doing so many Gaimy things at the moment. And it's just like, you're not Gaim. The writer is very talented and has done one of the best writer shows ever made. I don't think the producers are exactly the most talented ones that are out there. And okay. I think I'm not saying the writer's innocent either, because they very much got locked in this GGP format. But yeah, I will watch it. I want to see if this is going to be like 0-1, where the last arc is really, really strong, and it's just kind of disappointing how we got here. But yeah, Geats for me is going to go down as about mid-tier-ish. I don't think it's bad by any stretch, but it's just like a little forgettable. It tried to do some original things. Those worked. The problem was it then kept on trying to repeat the same patterns over and over and over and over again. So yeah, I got Transformers Devastation on PS4.
Woo! Brand new game.
So I was
just out.
Yeah, just out. I'm not playing it on PS4 though.
Oh.
I've been playing it on PS5, which I also
so you
got
did buy
during
it.
the
So
week.
when you asked me, like, should I get a PS5, you had already got it, I'm guessing.
No. I only got it yesterday.
Oh my god. That was
so-
quick, because it's like Friday or something that you asked me. And I was like,
Thursday
no,
or
just
Friday.
get a PC.
I've had to accept over the years that I'm never going to be a PC gamer.
No, you don't
at
need
all.
to be a PC. What do you mean?
it's
What
not
stops
a
you from
motive.
being a PC gamer?
A lot of the range doesn't appeal to me when it comes to PC exclusive stuff. I tried keyboard playing. It didn't really appeal to me. I don't like the controllers. In general, I've never
What do you
found a
mean?
PC controller I'm really comfortable with
You don't
in
like
the
the
hand.
X-
Hand
you can-
feel is your.
You can just use
I think the Xbox-
any other controller. You can use a PlayStation controller.
Well, I tried that once and it didn't work for me. So, but I also think the Xbox controller feels absolutely awful in hand. I hate the Xbox controller. And yeah, it's just like when it comes to like when I think about like exclusive and things like that, or like I am just so much more a console gamer. And while you can get a workable PC for $600 or $700, if you want to get a really good one, you do have to spend more, which also means I have to spend more initially anyway because I got the PS5 cheaper than that.
I don't even know
I'm
what
a console
exclusives that PS5 have or will have.
So it doesn't have many now, but it's about to because the PS4, PS5 shared cycle is ending.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the list of games, like Spider-Man 2 is going to be an early exclusive.
It'll be on PC
Final
at some
Fantasy.
point. Final Fantasy will be on
At
PC
some point down the
point.
road. At some point down the road, but I am an old man, and I have like 5 years left of me tops.
You can't wait. Okay.
I will literally die of boredom.
Okay.
But it just doesn't appeal to me, Andy. It just doesn't. Like, I'm very comfortable saying that.
No,
Like,
PC
PC
that's
for me
fair.
is
I'm trying to pull apart which parts that don't mesh with you.
It's an emotional thing.
It's
Feelings don't
an,
have
it's
to
an
make sense.
emotional thing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
Mikey.
Plus, if I have any more PCs, I'm going to be able to build a bloody PC house. Like a Minecraft house made out of PC
But none
blocks.
of your PCs
But,
are good.
Well, my home computer is actually very good because I spent a lot of money on that.
Is that the one you have with you
This
at the
one here is
moment?
not. It's average. It's not neither. It does exactly the jobs I want it to do.
All right.
Which I'm not in. Like I said, if I'm not doing anything particularly challenging with it graphically or programming or anything like that. So, Andy, I'm not you, and I'm not Jason.
All right. All right.
Granted, no one is Jason.
Oh no! Like Jason's got
I don't
all
think-
of the monies. I don't have all the monies that Jason has.
It's not the monies. It's not the monies. It's the desire. I sometimes think about his child staring at his father in a darkened room, nothing lighting his face but the flashing lights of the sort of inner workings of a PC as he's putting up together.
So what
a
you're saying?
box.
It's not a dark room. It's an incredibly bright room, blinding the child because our RGB lights are crazy. I'm pretty sure Jason has RGB lights. I don't because I think
Yes,
they're
he does.
stupid
I've
and
seen
waste
pictures.
power.
I know for a fact he does.
Yeah.
But so anyway, PS5. It wasn't to get it for exclusives now. It's to get it for exclusives down the road.
Mhm.
I've got it now. I don't have a PS5 specific game yet. I was looking at the roster. It's not a ton. Like Final Fantasy 16 looks like it might be the best one to go for because it's getting rave reviews at the moment. Like better than Final Fantasy 15 was, which is not actually helping me make a decision because Final Fantasy 15 got okay reviews and I thought that was an absolutely travesty of the game.
Yeah.
So, but I am like Spider-Man 2, absolutely. Final
that'd be
Fantasy
good.
7, absolutely.
Oh no!
Like, there's a few other ones.
I'm never touching a Final Fantasy 7 game. I'm never doing it. I hated
Oh, no.
remakes so fucking much.
like. Yeah, but you're wrong. But
Good
it's
reasoning.
okay. We already
reasoning.
discussed that you can like something and be wrong, or hate something and be wrong.
Or you
The
can like
important thing is I'm
something
right.
and blindly like it.
I liked a lot about that game, Andy, and I can.
I hated
I can go on about why I liked it for. I think you're an old man.
Pedantic. That's the one word review. Pedantic. It loves to waste your life. It literally is the game that wastes your time and adds
Not that much
next to
longer than-
nothing. Not that much
I'm gonna say
longer.
not that much longer than the Midgar section of the main
2
game. I
hours
spent about as
versus
long as that
8
Midgar.
hours or more.
No, like Midgar, it's like 12 to 20 hours. I've replayed Final Fantasy VII a lot over the years. I have that section memorized.
It's not 12 hours, Mikey. You get through that Midgard
It's 12
section.
hours. I've never.
What are you doing in Midgard? What's happening in Midgard? It's taking you 12 hours.
Midgard is.
Oh my god,
huge.
It's not that big.
Midgard
not in
is
7.
huge.
Not in the original set. It's not
It
that
is.
big. 12
Andy,
hours.
I genuinely. I've played that game like 10, 15 times. I've never, even when I'm trying to go through it quick, I think the fastest I got through was 6 hours.
Oh my god!
And that was skipping. That was skipping things.
Oh my god!
Like you use like an hour and a half just on talking.
Are you like emulating and just like going through it like half speed? I know you're a little bit older than me, Mikey. I didn't realize you were this slow. Oh my god! Oh my god, Mikey! I'm so sorry.
That is one thing I want to try out, which is the integrate upgrade, which you get for free if you've already got remake, because it's got the Yuffie thing, and they said like the Yuffie throwing mechanic was interesting. So
that's where they take remake and they upgrade it to PS5 graphics and frame rates and stuff like that, right? And they do a few things.
I've seen like some clips of it, and it does look significantly better. Like the graphics on remake are pretty damn solid. So like. Pretty interesting. But yeah, so that's kind of the big. I don't know if I'm going to have a big purchase anytime soon, but I should have a little bit of extra cash coming in the next couple of months. So I may actually not be like on a large dirt for a long time. I did get so I got a commission done for TF Nation by Steve White. So I just paid for that this week, and I was going to get Skyquake, but I stood there in the shop and I was just like,
was he on sale?
I would much. He was like down to 50, and I was like, okay, you're 15 euros off. I do want the mold. I just much rather have Dreadwing.
That's the thing. I think I said that to you last time you mentioned him.
Yeah, and I was just sitting in the shop going like, just rather have the blue one. I'm gonna wait for the blue one.
Like if you went in that day and he was like 25 off, I think you'd do it.
Yeah,
but I think just 15 off, nah.
It's just like, cool. Yeah, but I've got an option coming up, and I think I'll take that option.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that was my week, really. Like, very little spectacular. What about you, Andy?
Simon Tang actually asked, Steam sales, Andy, you bought anything? Yes, I did. In fact, I only bought 2 games so far. I bought Sleepy Dogs, because that's £2.39. And I hear good things about it if you don't really care for GTA, which I don't. I liked True Crime Streets of LA back in the day, even though it was very, very flawed. This is meant to be a very good kind of sandbox game set in Hong Kong, I think. So I got that. I was like, oh, okay. And I got, because it finally came to PC a while ago and it had 20-30% off, I got Persona 5 Royal. I actually started playing a bit of Persona 5 Royal today as well. Didn't get too far because, like every Persona game, it takes about an hour to 2 hours to actually get to the game.
Yeah. To get out of the cutscenes.
to get out like very, very handholdy, like nothing's happening. I mean, it's setting up the story, but like you say, it's very extended cutscenes. What did I do? You've played 5, haven't you, Mikey?
Yeah.
Okay, so
there's a lot of 5 has a lot, like even for Persona, it's got a lot of build up.
Oh my god. Okay. You can give me an idea of whereabouts I am. Whereabouts am I? I've just got to school and everyone's there. It's like, so why weren't you here for 4th period? And we were like, we were trapped in a castle. Everyone's like, oh. And the PE teacher's a sex pervert or something like that, which is like, no.
I can't spoil it for you.
Well, I mean, that's what they say. And it was like, oh wow, that's like the one at my high school back in the day who was done for getting on with the kid.
It's very relevant, is what I will say.
Yeah. I mean, it's the presentation's great. The music is not hitting me like it did for 3 and 4. Music's not bad. It's just, it seems just kind of okay. Like it doesn't have a distinct sound to it compared to the other two. But I'm just at the beginning stages. Igor's voice being different, it was kind of weird. I was like, whoa, Igor, it's like your testicles have dropped like really, really low. He's like, hey, baby, how's it going? Rather than, ooh.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. but unfortunately, they didn't. Like, it was one of those things where, like, okay, but why'd you cast someone so different?
Yeah, is it the fact that the actor's dead? Is that it? Is that the thing?
I mean, he's very dead.
Okay, see, I didn't know. I didn't know if the voice actor had died.
He died back in Persona 4 Golden anime days.
Did he? The English one?
No. He died. Oh, English, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm doing
sorry,
the English one.
I didn't realize you were doing English.
Yeah, I'm not down for reading because I know there's going to be so much of it. I was like, nope, I'll go English.
Reading's for pussies.
Well, reading will add a lot more time to it. So I was like, this is also why I'm not streaming Persona 5, because I know that I would have to do a lot of reading. And I'm like, no. And I know how long it takes so long to get into stuff. I know that a lot of the drama stuff, which I would find really interesting, probably wouldn't be that great for the audience.
You want to try streaming Steins Gate?
No, I'd never do that because I don't like visual novels. But it's and I couldn't do all that reading. Jesus Christ. Oof. Oh boy. No, thank you. But no, Persona 5. Yeah, I can't believe, like, when I first fought, I'm trying to remember what the monster's name is. Jack-o'-lantern. I was like, oh my god, Jack-o'-lantern looks so good. Because in my head, I'm remembering PlayStation 2 Jack-o'-lantern and the Incubus dude. I'm like, oh my god, I remember your little polygon body, and now I can see your polygon penis super well. Fantastic. Is Mara in the game, Mikey? Is Mara in Persona 5?
I don't remember. I hope so.
If Mara was in Persona 5, you'd remember. Everyone remembers a giant penis on a chariot.
I mean, I remember it, but I also, like, I've seen it in so much it's blurred.
Mara.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know what we're talking about, Chad, just type in.
Weirdly censored in my brain.
I'm not surprised. Well, it's a giant penis tentacle monster. Yeah. If you're of the right age, type in Persona and then Mara, Mara, and you'll get effectively a green penis with a mouth on a chariot. I don't know why they made it like that, but I think that's relevant to something. But those are the only 2 games I've got so far. I'd like to pick up a few more things, but I'm actually disappointed. Like Resident Evil 4 isn't on sale because I might have got that. That would have probably only been like 20%, to be honest. So maybe I'll still wait for that to drop. There are a few other games that I'll like to get while they're cheapo, but not a huge amount. XL Hedge says Mara is in Persona 5 Royal. Oh, good. I get to get my little squirty boy back. Fantastic. Everyone fears the giant penis dude, and don't blame him. Other things that I got were pigment powder for making my bases look dusty for my Imperial Guardsmen. I got some glue because I've been running out of super glue. And what was it? No, what was it? Oh, I got some what do you call them? Dry brushing brushes, some fancy dry brushing brushes, which I'm stroking my nose with at the moment. They're quite nice and fancy. They're very fluffy. You could probably do without buying these ones and just buy makeup brushes that you can get. Just buy makeup brushes, so probably the exact same thing, just cheaper. The good thing about these are they're small, they're done so you can do it on miniatures rather than on bigger things. And I finished off painting all of my Imperial Guard that I had from my combat patrol. So they're all painted. All of them are done. I have other things that must be painted, of course, but that's eaten up a lot of my time. They're done to what I class as my mediocre standard of they look good enough. So I'm happy enough with that. Is there anything else I've been up to? Oh! Because I've finished watching Star Trek Enterprise, I jumped on and went, okay, let's go back and watch some animes that I've missed. So I watched the first 2 episodes of the Konosuba Megumin spin-off. Have you seen any of that yet, Mikey?
No, I kind of have to do the same thing. I have to go back and watch a bunch of stuff.
I don't know how I feel. I might need to give it a few more episodes, but it feels like it's because Kazuma's not there to basically stand there and go, what the fuck is wrong with everyone and everything and everyone and everything? It feels like it's missing something. It feels like it's missing a fundamental element of what Konosuba is. But like I say, it's only 2 episodes. Maybe it gets better as I go through. It's a prequel, so it's Megumin becoming a wizard, learning how to do explosions and whatnot. And I have been watching Gundam Witch of Mercury Season 1 Part 2, let's call it that. I'm up to episode 17. I still do not think it's that good. I think every episode that doesn't take place at or near the school is superior to every other episode. I think, what's his name? Jehirkt? The guy with the pink in his hair. Jill? Yeah, Jill. Jill Valentine.
I haven't seen the show in a while, so I can't remember the pronunciation. But
you know the guy I mean. The guy who almost
the guy
looks
with
like...
the guy with the Garibaldi, the cool red one.
Yeah, he's almost got a Napoleon ice cream hairstyle. He just needs the white in there. I think his story is far more interesting, but we barely follow it. With Celeste, we're just going through we're dancing around important stuff. We're not really focusing on it too much. I hate every time we have a duel, because it feels like it feels like in a world where there are meant to be big stakes, we're looking at a inconsequential match between children. It's not like Build Fighters where it's a tournament. They're going for the championship. No one's gonna die. We're in a world where there's serious things going on. There's very political and stuff like that. And then we cut back and it's just, we're at school and we're just having fun. We're just having a nice little duel and nothing's gone wrong. I'm like, I don't know. I don't see the appeal of the show apart from it's very pretty to look at and the Gundam designs are cool. Yeah, I'm gonna finish it.
I think,
but
one thing I would say, like I've seen some of the more recent Gundam designs, and I think I think the Schwartz is okay, but I don't like the Caliburn, the one with the witch's broom.
You say
the
Schwartz.
Broom is a cool idea.
You say Schwartz, and all I think of Schwartz Bruder. And then I'm like, yeah, but it's not the Shadow Strike Gundam from G Gundam, and he's not from German. He's not a German ninja. So why would I care?
The best ninja.
He's so good. I love
ninja.
Schwartz. I'm a G Gundam man. Well, sure.
Everyone loves Schwartz, but I don't like the core robot design. It's so boring.
You mean
and it's such a bad color palette.
The Ariel,
not the Ariel. The Caliburn that's taken over from the Ariel. I don't know. I've just seen it's been covering. It's one of the new toys, so I know it's coming.
Maybe that's the new
one. Basically, it's a white Ariel with a weapon that's a witch's broom.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one. That one hasn't popped up just yet. But I think it's done for the moment. I think it's wrapped up. I imagine
it finished. It had its finale.
Yeah, is it two seasons or is it just one season?
It's 26 episodes. By the sound of it, the ending's self-contained, so it ain't going. It's not intended to be longer.
I thought they would have done at least 2 seasons because they did that with Iron-Blooded Orphans. Season 1, then there was season 2, rather than season 1 and then season 1.5, which is what this is.
Maybe they just don't have the story.
I didn't feel like it.
By the sounds of it, I've never heard anyone say they think it's a 52 episode show.
Yeah.
Even people I've seen who absolutely adore it, and I don't remember. I'm well behind in it, so I've forgotten so much about it.
To be fair, I'd argue there are a lot of Gundam series that are not 52 episodes worth of story, but because of how they had to make anime, then they stretched those suckers out a little bit too long.
I mean, I would very strongly argue many Gundam shows are terrible.
Yeah, there are a lot of not great ones. I would agree. Anything else I've been up to? I've watched the anime. I think that's it. We have another message from Simon Tang. He says, have you tried Warhammer 40,000 Demon Hunters? Turn-based opinions. I have. I haven't finished it, but it's good. It's one of the better more recent Warhammer 40,000 games. I think it's got a little bit of an issue that, XCOM games can kind of have. I think it's more prevalent here than in XCOM, where if you do not sort out the incursions, the bloom incursions, which is where your missions come from, if you don't keep them well managed, it can snowball and you can lose your campaign very, 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 very quickly. It's a little bit too intense, even on the lower difficulties. And I think with the inclusion of DLC such as the Dreadnought, which I haven't bought because it doesn't seem like there's a huge point to it, the game's becoming harder. And I don't know whether it's the case that it's forcing you down the role of buy the DLC to become more powerful. Because I haven't checked on it too much, but I am concerned that's the case. But when I got it originally, I thought it was good. I think it's worth getting if you haven't played it. And you get to play as the Grey Knights, and I think this is like the only time you ever get to play as the Grey Knights, because whoever plays as the Grey Knights, unfortunately, because they're pretty powerful factions, so you can't usually use them too much, like for thematic games and whatnot, just because they're strong Space Marine in super duper strong Space Marine armor, and usually they're very powerful psychers as well with magic powers. So, Mikey. I'll say to the people, if you want to send us any more questions, send them now. Do we have any questions, Mikey, that you know of been left to you?
Nope. I have no questions.
Then, young Mike, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
You can find me on Irish Paler on Twitter, or you can find me on the Moonbase 2 on Twitter. You can send us emails on the moonbase2@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook, Libsyn, Weebly, all those places. And don't forget to check out Patreon. I should have another episode of the Squawk Box ready to go in the next week or so. So I will send it on to Andy, and I've got a couple of more in the pipeline to be recorded, so that'll be fun.
Wow. Cool.
Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr as not CCTFW. That's from a few years ago. It's Decayed Andy. Decayed like a rotten corpse of a human being rather than a 10-year period. We're also on the Moonbase 2 forums on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, and Libsyn, and YouTubers. Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast, if you want to find us that way, where we stream, where the people are watching us now. You can also go to ccbunker.weebly.com, and of course there's the Patreon, which Mikey mentioned. So that's it, everybody. Thank you very much for coming on by, everybody. I hope you've had a good time. If you want to join us and the chat, you can come over to the YouTube channel or to my Decayed Andy Twitch channel, and you can join us on any Sunday at 8 o'clock in the evening UK time. And you can, follow along and post comments, and we will read them and talk about them as we've done today. But thank you, Mikey, for joining me, and thank you, chat, for joining us. Do you think there'll be anything next week to talk about?
I don't know, to be honest.
No, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I predict evil.
Oh my god, that's concerning. But thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will catch you next week for more Moon Poop 2 podcast.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye, everybody. Yeah.